Um, you were just recording stuff all morning.
We were recording.
Also, welcome back to the DirtTalk Studios.
Hey, DirtTalk. We were recording. We're calling it Dirt World 101 now because on the training platform it's Construction 101. So I didn't want two Construction 101s.
Yeah.
So I was recording Dirt World 101, which is our internal training program that all new hire onboarding people get to go through. So it's me rambling about the construction industry in its bare bones form for an hour.
Well, what do you talk about?
So as a, what do we call ourselves? Are we a marketing company? Media agency? What are we now?
We're just BuildWitt.
So as a BuildWitt, we have a lot of people from non-construction, non-dirt world industries coming in. And they don't know a whole lot about the industry. So I talk a lot about, what is construction? Why is it important? Why is the dirt world important?
Yeah.
Who keeps the lights on around here? Things like that. How to act. A big thing that I incorporated into this round was how to act on a job site. How to be safe on the job.
Yeah.
PPE, things like that. Just super basic, like really raw stuff to get people up to speed on some things.
Did you tell people to buy themselves a pair of blue jeans?
I told them to use Chell's discount code to get themselves some Origin jeans.
They're expensive. You need a discount code.
I want to try a pair, but I don't have that kind of coin to drop on jeans.
I don't. See, I like.
Aren't they like $150?
Yeah, I'm also a youth. I don't like baggier jeans.
Oh, same.
And they're baggier.
Yeah, they're really baggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a little bit more.
I do all
slim.
my shopping at Goodwill.
At Goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have the mentality that we need to go hire a bunch of people from the industry to do what we're doing. And then somebody like Lori came about and was like, well, that's not really possible. So we've hired a lot of people from the industry. You, Chell, Sam.
Oh, yeah, and look how that's going.
Jake Pico. There's Jay.
Keep hiring people like me and we're going to go under real quick.
So we have a lot of people from the industry, but we've had to hire a lot of people not from the industry.
Right.
But we serve the dirt world, so we need to start educating them on the dirt world.
Mm-hmm.
But the exciting thing is we can if we can effectively educate our people, then we can also educate other people.
Right. I think that's a big part of like the YouTube thing that we're doing now is like we're like a big part of the audience for YouTube is people that don't know about the industry. I'm realizing like through comments of like, oh, I didn't know this or didn't know that. Like, oh, okay, this is kind of who we're serving over here.
And I think that's a lot more effective when it comes to our mission. Like if we were just there's a lot of people creating really compelling content for the industry. And that's great. It's like, great. You're from the industry. You understand the industry. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Check. We got that. We've checked that box. But for us to make the dirt world a better place, we need to educate society on the importance of the dirt world.
Right.
So we have to go outside of the industry.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like it's either elementary, like super basic, this is how a bulldozer works, or it's like super complicated. There's no in between. Like how do we need to like bridge the gap between the two forms of education that are out there right now.
And it's tricky.
And it's a huge space.
It's
a big space between those two.
Yes. Yeah, and it's tricky because you have to speak in simple terms, but then you have those people that's like, of course, that's obvious. I knew that. Like, okay,
right.
Cool. Congratulations. Yeah. You knew that you're supposed to use this kind of bucket in this application, but a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
And how'd you figure that one out? Someone told you. Oh, imagine that. There was a point in time where you didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes me, like, that course, I used to do it live. And for me to explain the dirt world in its entirety, so, like, the different sub-industries, like, the different categories of how people get paid, things like that, like residential, commercial, government, and then, like, all the roles, so operator, laborer, project manager, it takes a good hour and a half to roll through that, like, at a fast pace.
Well, and
even you get to the end of it, and there's so many questions like you didn't cover this, or this.
Yeah,
there's so much to cover in such a short period of time.
You kind of just take your knowledge for granted. Like since you've always been in this world, you just get it.
Yeah. Yes.
But
100%.
a lot of the people we hire have never ever thought about it other than like maybe they got their landscaping redone a few years ago and the landscapers had a skid steer and they're like, yeah, that's cool for 2 days. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like construction. Yeah. Slowing me down. This sucks.
Yeah.
Most people don't think about it.
Yep. Yeah. It's interesting. I actually said it on the video, I think one of the most interesting thing I notice about people coming to work here at BuildWitt is how it changes their perspective on like life in general. Just kind of like opens up their eyes and they don't even realize it. It's not something they intended on happening when they came to work here, but it's just, a lot of people that I talked to were like, yeah, man, I was going down the road the other day and I was looking at excavators and I was like trying to figure out what excavators were what.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool that people come into this, initially they might just think it's another job. And then, they're taking a lot of it home with them to learn about things in their personal life, which is pretty neat.
Big time. Yeah, they kind of fall in love with the industry. And that's how we go make an industry better. Is it starts with individuals. It starts with impacting individuals and giving them just one person an appreciation for the industry and that they didn't have prior.
Right.
And if we can do that, which we've been able to do within our business, now we need to go scale it. But even my brother will call me and he'll be like, yeah, I was driving home the other day and there was this huge excavator on the side of the road. It was like a Cat 378. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's probably a 374. But like, yeah, I get what you're saying. That's a big machine.
Yeah.
And I just love his enthusiasm for it. He has nothing to do. He's a BMW car salesman.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a truck salesman before that.
Yeah.
But nothing to do with the dirt world. And yet he's excited about it because we're excited about it.
Right. And I think that's like a big part of the reason that people follow us too, like on social media, is they just love the enthusiasm from us that we're driving, like the whole, not just us, but like the whole company in general. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, we love tractors. What about it?
Funny enough, it's funny you say that because I was on camera like explaining the dirt world, and I was trying to explain. This would be good to talk about on the podcast. In like 2 sentences, how would you say that we only serve the dirt world? Like, why aren't we making videos of pet stores and Walmart and airlines? Why are we only in the dirt world? Yeah. And my three word answer was because Aaron loves tractors. That's 4 words. Math is hard.
So it started with, yes, just my love for the industry. I didn't want to go outside of it, but there's also practical reasons for it. It's a very proud world that speaks a very specific language, and you need to master that language for people to invite you in. And if you go do other things, you're not only speaking to them, you're not special, and they're going to cast you out. They're not going to invite you in. Like, we need to be invited in to go change the industry.
Right.
So that's part of it. And then it's just going to, I was just talking to Alex, Jocko's laws of combat, prioritize and execute. We just need to prioritize and execute. So let's just prioritize this one industry so that we can become absolute experts at this one field and go dominate here.
Right.
And it's not a niche. Everybody thinks it's this little niche. It's like, well,
it's the whole world.
It's actually not that niche, but sure. Yeah, it's niche. Yeah. Wink, wink.
It's niche because nobody's vested themselves this heavy into this industry before. From our perspective as whatever company we are.
Well, them saying it's this small niche is them articulating their misunderstanding of how fundamental this world really is.
Right. That too. Yes.
But it started from a self-centered way of, I love tractors. I just want to be around tractors. But then it became more strategic, make the dirt world a better place. Oh, okay. So there's a very important strategic reason why we just focus on the dirt world and nothing outside of that.
Right. It's kind of what I had in my brain, but I couldn't figure out how to summarize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to like call anybody specific out, but it is like there's a lot of companies that try to go after like heavy dirt world stuff and try to vest themselves in it, and then they'll go make a video of something totally unrelated, and it's like, oh, yeah, kind of like it's almost like they just lose a little bit of credibility.
in the end. Yeah, but
now you're just a marketing company at that point.
But
it's really interesting.
The thing is, you can go create a really valuable, successful marketing business, not focusing on the dirt world, dabbling in it. Okay, great. Come and dabble. Cool. Go also film supercars. Supercars are sick. Go also film airplanes. Airplanes are sick. It's all sick. And you
they're just not going to take you as seriously when you roll out a training platform.
That's the thing. You're by doing that, you're not going to go be able to go impact the entirety of the industry, but that might not be their goal, right? And so our goal, our mission, make the dirt world a better place. That might not be theirs. So they don't have to focus on the dirt world, but to do what we want to do, what we're here to do, what needs to be done, we have to focus on the industry.
You know what my mission is?
What's your mission here?
My mission is to make a Waffle House a better place.
Is it? How are you going to do that?
Well, first, I'm going to get all the grease off the floor.
I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible.
I cheated on. I went to Cracker Barrel yesterday. I cheated on Waffle House.
You really went to Cracker Barrel?
I'm a big Cracker Barrel guy.
I'll eat at Cracker Barrel when I'm driving through Amarillo at
you can go
at 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday, and that's all that's there.
Nah, people are.
But I'm not just gonna be like, you know what? I need some dinner.
Nah,
Where do you want to go to dinner, honey? Cracker Barrel. Okay.
You're sleeping on Cracker
And then
Barrel.
I get in my car and I drive down to Cracker Barrel.
No, the people are gonna be upset about this.
I only go to Cracker Barrel because it's like I'm just driving by it on the interstate. All right, it's right there. I'll go hang out in a rocking chair for a moment. Sure, I might stumble through the gift shop. There's some cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
I am going to play the little peg game. I'm going to enjoy my breakfast at 4 p.m.
It's an experience.
Because there's all day breakfast.
It's an experience.
And then I'm going to leave.
Do you want to know something about Cracker Barrel that I've never found in any other establishment?
Huh.
Every single store is laid out exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
I don't think that's unique to Cracker Barrel.
It's unique to that kind of business with that kind of decor.
Sure.
You walk in, you know every Cracker Barrel, you know exactly where you got to go.
Just imagine being a construction manager for something like Cracker Barrel.
Because they'll define the decor and stuff?
Well, no, they that's all you do is manage the construction of Cracker Barrels.
Right.
It's the exact same thing everywhere you go.
Yeah, easy job. Are they really building that many new Cracker Barrels, though?
They're everywhere. I'm sure they are.
I wonder how many Cracker Barrels there are. If you're the construction manager for Cracker Barrel, drop us a line. Curious to see how your job is and how you like it.
No, I bring that up because I think it came up on my LinkedIn the other day.
Why?
Where now hiring, like positions you might be interested in.
Oh, it did.
And I think I posted
that
on social media. It was construction manager for Cracker Barrel.
Oh, full circle.
You bet I applied.
Yeah.
My interview's next Tuesday.
That's making me nervous.
I've already bought my apron and everything.
Oh, no.
I'm ready to go.
That's not good.
Yeah. Do they sell the rocking chairs or are they just there?
$110.
They do sell them.
$110. I think it's like $119. Sorry. Yeah.
So while you're on your road trip, you can pick up a rocking chair.
Yeah. That's something you don't do?
We used to.
Something I do.
No, I go to Buckies and buy myself a smoker.
Still haven't been to Buckies yet. The one in Florence is open, so I might stop in when I'm home next time.
You're not a true gas station aficionado if you've never been to Buckies.
I know enough about Buckies to understand that is the way. Like Buckies is the top dog. I don't need to be there to understand that yet.
No, I need to experience it.
I need to get there.
You need to walk through the doors and experience the overwhelming feeling that is standing in a Buckies with fucking people everywhere, buying oversized drinks, going pee in one of the 178 urinals that they have, hitting the beef jerky bar to get their 5 different best favorite flavors. Yeah, it's a beef jerky bar.
You're kidding me.
Of course they have a beef jerky bar.
That is the most Texas thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. And you pick up a brisket sandwich and you get the hell out of there. And then you lose track. Oh, fuck, where did I park my car? Because there's 300 different pumps.
The one between Knoxville and Nashville was supposed to be open the last time I went out there, but they've been working on it for like a year.
I just drove by one under construction the other day.
Where would you have been?
And so they do something clever as well. They put up advertising outside of the Buckies that's under construction that says Beavers at work. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah, they're really good at advertising.
I like you guys.
Aren't they? Was it in Alabama? They're putting one in Alabama, too.
I think it was.
Oh, well,
I drove by.
Oh.
It was while I was driving from here to Starkville.
Oh.
So it was somewhere in Alabama.
Yeah, I gotta get there.
I don't think it would be in Mississippi. There's not much in Mississippi.
No. I'll find one. I gotta get to. I might just take a road trip to South Carolina just to get to one, because that's the closest one to me now is South Carolina to Pennsylvania.
Oh my word!
That's literally the closest one.
Really?
Yeah. But it's on my way to Charleston. So if I go to Charleston, I could just. But my schedule is so fucked for the next 2 months.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Well, I'm here all week. I'm home for one day on Saturday, and then next week I'm off technically, but I'm working still.
Oh, you're going to Colorado.
I'm gonna go.
Are you doing that?
Yeah.
You're still doing that?
Yeah, it's a 623 now instead.
You're gonna go run a 623 for Shay Stutsman for a week.
Yep. That's what I'm doing. So tune in for that.
Thought you were smarter than that.
Well,
He seems pretty stoked about it though.
Oh,
I'm
he's
sure-
super stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dane, what did he get that 627? And he was fired up about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's a big deal for. I'm pretty proud to be a part of it because it's like the last big earth moving job in Aspen.
Really?
Yeah. It's like.
Well, how long is he running the scraper for? Because I'll be
like
up there
2
the
weeks.
following week.
It'll be there the following week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked to see the jobs they do.
They're very unique. They're doing a lot of. He said they just bid on a bunch of like 3 to 5 story demo work because now they're removing anything that's not a historical structure to make it more bigger. Yeah.
Really?
Wild place. So the project that I'm going to work on is like probably the largest single family estate I've ever. Easily one of the most expensive pieces of real estate I've ever witnessed.
Aspen's some of the most expensive real estate in the United States.
It's wild.
By like those are per square foot some of the most expensive houses period in the United
States. It's expensive
States.
to travel there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That was.
I
hate that. I didn't realize it was like a 3.5 hour drive from Denver. That's gonna suck.
You're flying into Denver? No, but it's a super pretty drive. You go through the mountains the whole time.
Yeah.
So the whole time you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. You should have
True.
waited the next week because then I go to the Reservoir Project.
I wanted to wait another week because I had stuff to do next week, but he has to start it next week. So
Good.
is that the one? That's the Buc'ee project?
Barnard.
No.
Buc'ee has another one back there. I think
Oh.
they're starting in a little bit. Buc'ee is doing the interstate through downtown Denver right now. That's the big Buc'ee one, Colorado.
I know Jace is working on something.
Yeah, he's on I70.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's an I70 project
Mm-hmm.
with the D10s.
What?
He's got D10s, 390s, and 777s now.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he might be up in the reservoir.
I think he's up there.
Ah,
Yeah, because he moved divisions.
really?
Yeah, he's not on the.
That's
He's not on the foundation division anymore.
Oh, that's the tricky thing about Buc'ee is there's all different divisions and then there's different regions too.
Right.
So you can be like, I applied with the Northwest District instead of the Southwest District because I wanted to get the hell out of Arizona. But the problem is the Northwest District will go bid a job in like Vegas, which is Southwest.
Yeah.
But it's a Northwest District job.
Interesting.
That's
stupid.
I don't know how it works. I guess it's all Buc'ee at the end of the day. It's all the same name on the hard hat, but they're just a monster.
Is this a Monday episode?
No,
This is a regular episode?
unfortunately for anybody listening.
Damn, so you got to listen to me for an hour. So I think I'm the Joey Diaz of this podcast now.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how Joey Diaz is always on the Joe Rogan podcast? I'm the fill-in guy. So when Joe needs somebody, Joey, what are you doing? Come on over.
But it's very entertaining.
I'm not as entertaining as Joey. Thankfully, I don't have some of the stories that he has to tell.
How do you explain the dirt world?
How do I explain it, like, to new people?
Yeah.
So I try to make it somewhere between elementary and fundamental. Like I try to find that fine line of like the dirt world is something that, we really can't live without. Can't do anything without, earth moving, utilities, mining. I mean, it all falls into the dirt world. So try to just do the best I can to explain the primary purpose of everything and why we need it to exist.
Yeah.
My favorite is like utilities. I think that's like the eye-opening part for people is like you have, 3 to 5 utilities running into your house, and all of those wouldn't be possible without a pipe crew. You know what I mean? So
there's huge infrastructure just behind getting natural gas to your house.
Yeah.
Like just the complexity of getting natural gas from somewhere like the middle of nowhere, Texas, to your house in Tennessee. I'm not saying that's where it would come from, but it's possible. Just the complexity of that.
Yep.
That's a lot. But the problem with utilities, our generation and previous generations, we've always had utilities.
Yes.
We've always grown up with power.
So it's taken for granted.
And water and air conditioning and heating. We've always had that. It's like freedom in the United States. I didn't recognize how important it is until I started leaving and going to other countries. It's like, you can't just say whatever the hell you want here.
Oh, yeah.
Or else you go to prison.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I did not appreciate that.
You went to China that one time too. How'd that go? I forgot about that. That was like one of the first trips you did.
That was one of the eye-opening things was like, wow, this is really different than the United States.
Yeah.
Like I could not say Build Back Better is really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or else I would disappear.
Yeah. Gulag. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I couldn't while riding my bicycle be like, Build Back Better, baby. Making fun of diesel prices, for example. Not that they're not all that correlated, but you still just like to be like,
it's fun to say.
Yeah, Build Back Better, going great, man. we're killing it.
Meanwhile, I'm driving the truck.
But utilities are the same thing. You don't appreciate them until your power goes off, and you're just like, what do I do?
Yep.
Like you don't have power. Like I didn't have power for 3 days. That was the longest I had been without power in my house. It was a pain in the ass.
Sucks.
Pain in the ass.
It sucks.
And I was the whole time like, man, I'm worthless.
Mm-hmm.
I am totally worthless.
Yeah, because you don't have a generating station in your backyard.
Well, I bought a generator.
Well,
for that reason.
You can't power your whole house.
No. But when I go build a house one day, I am going to have a backup generator. That'll be permanently wired into the house. With a 50,000 gallon bulk diesel tank buried under my lawn.
Don't fill it up today. Don't fill it up today. Yeah, so I don't know. That's kind of what I go over with that stuff. I had something I was going to say, but I forgot.
Do you go over the equipment in this?
No. So I stopped doing that because that's where I lose people, believe it or not.
Really?
Going over equipment. So I changed it up a little bit because in the beginning I would start with equipment and work my way into the rest of it. And it is easier for me to let people figure out what equipment fits where and then let them ask questions. I also started, so this video that we just did is going to be, so I used to do it live with the onboarding group. So people would come into our business. I would teach them about the dirt world, and then they would go about their way.
And you'd be sitting in your garage, and
I would sit in my garage.
Your mom would walk in randomly halfway through, and
What are you doing in here? I'm like, I'm kind of busy. I'm at work right now. She's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm talking to people. I'm in a meeting. Fun stuff. Then we recorded it. I did a live recording on my laptop where I just did the same thing I normally would. And that sucked too. So they've been dealing with that for a while. So Nikki wanted me to go and make it more professional, more better.
Yeah, more better.
So we made it more better. And now it's actually, I'm pushing for it to live inside of the training app, so that it can be easier to digest. It's going to be like almost like micro learning, chunked out.
And okay, great. Congratulations. You're an experienced operator. Why the hell would I ever need to learn that?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're more intelligent than like an ape,
mm-hmm.
you start to realize, well, there's a lot of other people here that support the dirt world that don't necessarily work in the dirt world day to day and understand it.
Yeah.
So it's like you hire, a lot of times a company will hire a CFO, for example. They start to grow. They need a CFO. A CFO is a very important role in a construction company.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very important role. But they could be from...
They don't know a thing about construction.
Yeah, a car dealership.
Yeah.
For all you know.
Yep.
Don't know a single thing about construction. Being able to put them through the introductory course, huge value.
Mm-hmm.
Huge value.
Yeah, 100%. I thought about that. I wanted to gear it more towards, like...
CFOs.
Yeah, I'm a big CFO guy. I wanted to gear it more towards, like, people from outside the industry as a whole. So you could give it to, like, project managers that may not have experience in this field, like office staff, HR people.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, like, talk about BuildWitt and that, so I'm going to have to film it again, which sucks, but it is what it is.
I think that's fine, though.
To film it again or to just give it to them as it is?
No. To do it again.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you
that
do
was
it
a very
again-
low-cost operation, so I don't care.
Yeah.
It was literally in the parking lot of our office.
The
So
most expensive thing about that was a skid steer.
yeah, the most expensive part was me moving skid steer to get it there, which probably cost like $1,000.
Pretty hefty mob cost.
You got to build your cost of the job in the mob so you get paid up front. Estimator 101. Come on. Get your shit together.
Yeah. Why is the mob $250,000?
Well, I don't know if you're going to pay us or not.
I was on the dredging project I was out at last week. They were talking about that because you have to, how capital intensive it is.
Oh.
Because you're working for the government.
Where were you at last week?
In Louisiana. It's like the bottom of the Mississippi River, where the Mississippi River splits off into three.
Oh, wow. You were way down there.
The very bottom.
Is that? Oh, so they call it the end of the world for a reason, huh?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
called
crazy.
End of the World.
Wow.
But they were talking about how there's not very many dredging companies because it requires so much capital.
Mm-hmm.
So you need your dredge. Good luck buying a dredge. You can't just go rent one of those or buy one at auction at Ritchie Brothers. Hey, Ritchie Brothers, you got any hopper dredges available or cutter dredges or whatever? I'm starting to learn my dredges.
Yeah. Big dredge guy.
Then you have all the yellow iron.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go rent any of it. You have to go buy it all.
Yeah.
Because you're putting it in water and sand. So no rental company is going to rent you a D6 to go work in water and sand.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've ever seen a dredging machine after 6 months of work, there's no more paint on it.
Yeah. It's not a happy time for an equipment manager.
No. And they all break all the time. I mean, that is one of the most abusive, if not the most abusive application for a machine, other than like a cement facility or
demolition,
slag. I think it's even worse than demolition. I think demolition beats something up.
Demolition is operator-based error.
That's operator error, whereas this is like you can be the best operator in the world, the environment, landfills, trash.
Yeah, true.
But so you have to have all the equipment, and then all the dredging specific equipment, and then the government doesn't pay you 30, 60, 90 days sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to float the first 60, 90 days of the job until you get paid.
Yeah.
That first payment.
Crazy.
That's a lot of money. A lot of money you're putting in up front before you see a single dollar.
So the big thing that kind of fucks those guys too is weather. Because if the water is any bit choppy, they got to pull the dredge out. And then the job's behind.
Well, fortunately,
they're on such a time crunch because of the turtles in a lot of cases. Like all the time, I'm like, hey, when's that job wrapping up? And he's like, well, the turtles start mating soon, so we're done. I'm like,
dude,
man, a whole job based on turtles.
So this one, they had a whole bird crew out there.
Oh my god!
Because they couldn't let the birds nest on the sand.
So they got to chase the birds away.
So they had a bunch of fake seagulls on sticks that would sit there and like fly around.
Oh my
God.
God.
And then they would sit there and they would drive, like weave around the beach that they were creating to scare the birds off. And then they would take a tractor with a disc and disc the whole beach to stir up the sand so that birds couldn't nest effectively on it.
Huh.
And then they had the little reflectors scattered. I mean, they were doing everything to scare the damn birds
That's
away.
gnarly.
Yeah. 24 hours a day.
Oh, they're doing 24 hours a day bird scaring.
Yeah, because if you come back the next day and there's a bunch of birds that set up shop, then you have to rope the area off and you can't go there anymore.
Can you imagine getting paid $40 an hour to chase birds around?
Someone's got to do it.
Can you imagine making your fortune on bird chasing?
Someone's got to do it.
Hey, man, how'd you buy that truck? Well, I'll tell you what. I chased birds around for 20 years.
That's it.
You can do a lot of things.
I asked them, speaking of weather, hurricanes. So if a hurricane comes through there, guess where they put all their equipment?
On a barge?
On a barge.
And they take it away.
Well, they take it away or leave it, but equipment on a barge.
Oh, it'll float if it gets flooded.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
So your equipment can't flood on a barge. I was like, well, isn't that a slick little hack?
Yeah. Yeah, very rarely do they actually mobilize equipment by land.
Mm-hmm.
They'll barge it right onto the shore. They'll just keep going up and down the shore.
Yeah, so they just throw everything on the barge. And then all those steel pipes.
Yep.
They tie them all together. Well, they tie them all together when a hurricane comes through.
Oh, when a hurricane. Oh.
Yeah, so they don't get picked up and thrown everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They have a special name for those things. They're not standpipes. They're chimney pipes.
It was fascinating.
Stovepipe?
Yeah,
Stovepipe.
It was something like that.
They have some weird name for those things.
And
so they go together really weird too. They're unlike any other pipe I've ever seen.
Well, it's like
for quick disassembly, and also they have
putting straws together. You know, you kind of have to like bend one part of the straw.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more narrow.
Yeah, it's weird because they have to like go together quickly and be modular, but also there's like literal tons of pressure.
Yes.
On them.
Well, and I asked him, I was like, "Do you guys just use HDPE?" He's like, "No, HDPE wouldn't work.
Yeah,
it has to be steel."
There's only Speaking of like, this is a great example of like half-assed dredging companies and stuff. There's this one company that I went and visited one time, and they actually used HDPE for their little baby dredge that they had. And they could only, it would suck because they had to push the sand further because they had it welded together in sections, and they would have to couple it together with like the special coupler that they built.
Dang.
And they had instead of like, you know, with the stovepipe deal, you can go like every 20 feet and keep marching down the beach.
Yeah.
These guys had to do 100-foot sections at a time.
That sucks.
Yeah. Big time. That was a really messed up operation.
Well, the interesting thing about the steel pipe too was that so they'll use the same pipe from the dredge. The dredge was like 30-something thousand feet away. So they had 30,000 feet of pipe.
Usually it's only like a mile.
Well, it was a lot of land they had to cross to get to the Mississippi River. So they switched
out of the Mississippi.
Yeah, they were dredging out of the Mississippi.
They're getting sand.
Yes,
out of the Mississippi.
Yeah,
not
beautiful,
clay.
Beautiful pure sand,
not pluff mud.
Mm-mm.
Whoa.
So, but the pipes, the newest pipes will go closest to the dredge, and then they'll pull those and go put those onto the beach as they wear, because you're pumping sand through these steel pipes,
right?
Which is essentially just sandblasting the interior of the pipe constantly.
Yeah.
So the pipe wears over time, and as it wears, then they take the older pipes and put them on the beach because those pipes get the shit kicked out of them. I got like the full education last week, and it was unbelievably fascinating.
Thank you, Weeks Marine.
Yeah, thanks to Weeks Marine, man. They were the nicest people. So helpful. So helpful. They're like, we can take as much time as you'd like. They were fantastic. I wrote them an email after. I'm like, thank you guys, because that was so kind of you.
That's awesome.
So nice. Yeah. And then they can place up to 120,000 yards a day.
Damn.
120,000 yards of material a day.
Dredges are no joke.
With D6s.
No joke. People say the most efficient way to move dirt is with a scraper. It's with a pipe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But the cost per yard's pretty high.
Oh, big time.
I'm not going to talk about it on podcast because I don't know if that's information I should talk about, but it's way higher than moving it with a 349.
I mean, what are they going to do? Go after the work?
Well, yeah. You're not gonna be able to bid it, and I don't think it was their exact numbers. I just asked for like, kind of like roughly.
Yeah, that's probably ridiculous.
But within the ballpark,
that's great.
It's actually quite a bit higher than just a truck and excavator. Red.
I did not have the same week last week. Pretty not so fun time.
Did you guys? Are we gonna have to redo all that? Did we even get
no,
anything
we made it
worthwhile?
work. We made it work.
Really?
It just rained the whole first day, and
Yeah,
that is what it is.
welcome to
I was standing there talking to Angel, and I was looking at my phone. He's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Well, one crew's out in California watching scrapers, and one crew's in the beach watching dozers, and I'm sitting here shooting a rental Takeuchi." So he's like, "Oh,
that son of a bitch was drinking beer in Germany a few weeks ago."
Yeah. He's like, "This sucks." I'm like, "You just got off like the best trip ever."
Yeah, Mr. Poopy Pants.
Yeah.
Sitting in a French vineyard at a castle eating sandwiches on like a Wednesday
Freaking guy.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah. was that an expensive trip?
I don't even know.
Oh, dope.
I have no idea. I don't think it was that much. No.
You're really stepping into the CEO role hard, aren't you?
Well,
lean into that.
So I don't think plane tickets were that expensive. I really don't think it was for how much we got out of it. Like well worth whatever we spent.
So that was for.
I don't live all that lavishly when I travel because it's a grind.
No,
dude.
I probably spend more on food a day than you do in a week.
Yeah, I don't even eat
that much.
I'm not Mr. Big Shot.
I'm
still the lowest paid on the leadership team.
Same. What was Eberhard doing? Some kind of like construction. What was it, like a construction days or something? Wasn't it like an event they were having?
It was like a whole model show.
Oh, so it was a show.
It was a whole scale model
I thought
show.
they were like showing off the company itself. Oh, so this was like a die-cast deal.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I asked Shay, I was like, how much do you think you're going to spend this weekend? And he told me, I was like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You can spend some coin on these models.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coin.
Well, we were at that Lakeside show, and they had like vendors and things set up. So like people with like antique equipment related items and a lot of like antique toys and things. And I was hanging with my buddy Rob, and we walked in there, and he's a big like collector. He loves all this cat stuff. He's got like a whole warehouse back in Florida full of shit. And I walked away from him for like 2 minutes to go talk to somebody, and I came back. He looks at me, he goes, "I spent like $5,000. Like, what did you buy in here for $5,000?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I bought and it was like this much stuff, like 2 boxes. I'm like, dude, you have a problem.
Well, there were some models in there that were like 30, 40, 50 grand.
Yeah.
Each.
Crazy.
Each.
Crazy shit. I'm pretty sure they have like the biggest collection in the world, though.
Eberhard, so they had about 3,000 models at the museum, but total, with the people that own the company, apparently it's like 10 to 12,000 models.
I had an idea yesterday.
That's a lot of models.
That's a lot of models. I had an idea yesterday. Okay,
Build
so
a model museum?
My dad was like, we should make a table like Hoopa has for the conference room, but not for that, like for the next office. And I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, we could probably do a floor in a hallway.
That would be cool.
Like you're walking on glass, but it's like a strip mine or something under your feet.
The only problem with the floor,
it would get scratched up.
It gets scratched up.
You'd have to replace the plexiglass and shit. Mm-hmm. Unless you made it like regular glass.
Can you? Yeah, but then that's so
I gotta
fucking
look into
expensive because it needs to be thick enough to support the weight.
Yeah, I gotta look into it.
But we could build something like that for training.
Yeah,
like build giant dioramas with different scenarios for training purposes.
I want to build like the Cabela's mountain of training. Like, like Cabela's has their like you walk in, it's like this is the winter section with the elk, and then this is like the desert section. Like I want to build that indoors, but like you can like a diorama is great. and it kind of occurred to me when I think I was at Edwards, and they have like literal just like plastic tubs of sandboxes and like one of those models in there.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, this is cool, but it's not like showing me exactly what I want to see. But if I could like step out there and touch like a 1/5 scale of the world, like physically walking up to it and showing somebody like, yes, this is a proper bench.
Yeah.
Because the smaller in scale you make it, the harder it is to portray what needs to happen.
That makes sense. I think
Yeah.
I think we could do that. I think we could do that. I don't see why not.
I mean, we have a whole airport hangar to work with now of a building,
Well,
hopefully.
I need to pee real quick.
Yeah.
And we're back. Can we put it all within a Bass Pro Shops pyramid? Or could we just buy the Bass Pro Shops pyramid?
We could
Is
have.
that going to be the Dirt Both headquarters?
Before
Memphis, Tennessee. That is almost the middle of the United States.
it's going to get really expensive to live there pretty soon
Because of Ford. Yeah, but FedEx has been there forever. So it's not like it's... And dude,
Isn't Memphis kind of sketchy?
Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, cost of living. I don't think it's that high to begin with.
Huh.
There's some shadier parts of that city.
When I visited Mobile Track Solutions in Elkader is
Metropolis.
pretty middle of nowhere, United States of America. And I was like, wow, this town is very homey. I would love to live here. I started looking at the cost of houses. I was like, whoa, I can buy these houses for like $7.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa. But you're in Iowa. You're in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to like, I think Des Moines was the airport I used. I have to drive 2 hours to Des Moines.
It's pretty close to Wisconsin and Minnesota, too.
Yeah, there's like there's like 10 different combinations of ways to get there.
Because I've looked into going there. I just talked to someone that spent a day or two with John Moynihan the other day.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do, I think like July or August, I'm trying to like mix it into the vlog as we figure that out. But I want to do like an Iowa tour. So it would be Mackinac, Elder Corp, Moynihan. And then at Moynihan, you could do Mobile Track Solutions and the Earth Moving Legacy Center.
I was planning August or September, like a Midwest tour.
Yeah.
So we can make that happen.
I could easily add that in.
Vite as well. Maybe do like a 2-week.
Yeah. No, you could definitely do that.
Because I would love to do a day with John Moynihan.
Make
a vlog episode with just him.
And he's so cool. He's like down for anything, honestly. It's so funny. I was Justin, who's the president of Mobile Track Solutions, I was talking to the other day, and he was talking about John doing something. I was like, oh, so I guess the retirement program's going pretty well, because he was supposed to retire last August.
Guys like that don't retire.
No,
they go till
he's got all kinds of stuff going
till
on
the end. Yeah,
yeah. He'd be an interesting one to meet for sure.
Apparently, he travels quite a bit too out to job sites.
Yeah, he loves being out there. Well, that's how they got started in Florida, because they have like a whole. I think he was like on vacation or something down there, and P&J was like looking for scrapers.
Of course.
And it's such a wild story of how they got involved in that.
Dude, the Ford project looks so cool.
I'm trying to get out there too. I don't. The powers to be might not make that happen. We can get out there, but we can't film anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can get to a lot of places. Yeah. Okay, and a lot of people like, oh yeah, I could help you get out to that job site or that mine or this. It's like, yes, okay. I appreciate that, and that's awesome.
Can't do anything there.
Yeah, but pictures and videos, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. So right now they have 10. They have 10 cat haul trucks with scrapers on them.
With the big scrapers.
Yep. They have they're pushing them with a 10.
I would love to know how many transmissions they go through.
That's a good question.
On that project. See, the problem with pulling the scrapers, I don't know how it keeps happening. The problem with pulling scrapers with the truck is not designed to pull.
No.
To pull that weight. It's designed to haul. It's not designed to pull. I don't know I don't know if it voids the warranty or what, but so the truck's not designed to do what you're doing with it.
Volvo partners with them, partners with Ktek to sell
I know, but Volvo, like every truck that they've done it with has had problems. It's not just a cat thing. It's a Volvo, like every truck they've tried to pull scrapers with, it typically does not go well. They go through transmissions, they go through electronics, everything.
So when I was running them, I had the Volvo Ktek package, and we kept going through drop boxes. Like we'd go through a drop box a week between 4 scrapers, which is
It's something.
fucking expensive.
Yes, I just don't know how you pencil the dollars out on it. I guess you make so much money.
Yeah.
The cost per yard's so low that, okay, great. Hey, it broke, whatever.
We got to the point where like a dealer rep came out and was like showing us how to use them. And they said, okay, let's try when you get into the cut, because we were pushing them with a 155.
It's not a very big dozer.
It's big enough for that.
Yeah.
It's a D8.
Is it an 8 size?
Yeah. They're weird. So they were like, put the trucks in neutral. Don't touch the diff. Just operate the scraper part and let the dozer do all the work.
Yes.
Which in theory sounds good, but it's very slow.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to take very long cuts.
That's the only way to not ruin the truck, because the truck is not designed for that. It's a completely different force.
Well, now you're not really ruining a dozer, but you have to have the right person in the dozer then.
And a big dozer.
And you have to have a guy that understands that the dozer isn't super capable in that application when you're jamming the ball all the way in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had a couple guys that like put the ball all the way in the ground and the dozer just spinning its tracks. It's like just an immovable force meets an unstoppable object. And it's like, hey, idiots, stop that, please.
We don't need to be taking 2 feet per pass.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's not. To me, like the most efficient, I've as much as I've traveled, like the most efficient operation you can have is a 631 fleet. Whatever Bemis is doing,
I would agree.
that is like,
other than a drag line.
Other than the drag line.
By cost per yard, but yes.
Yes, if you have the ability to.
Without, no mining applications aside.
Yeah.
631s, 651s.
Yep. Who was I talking about?
California style.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day, how there's been a shift. It was somebody from Georgia. There's a shift in, everything used to be. It was somebody from Yancey on my dad's job. That was a while ago. There's a shift from scraper packages to hoe and truck packages.
Yes.
Across the board. Like everything used to be scraper work. It's not just Georgia. It was like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was either scraper work and or like shovel work. Like there used to be a lot more shovels than you see nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, we're doing 2 million yard jobs with 374s.
Yeah, Buc'ee used to run like 5230s.
And now their big mainline production machine is like a 374 or a 390.
Yeah.
Like I see a 390 nowadays. I'm like, oh, okay. What else you got? Anything else?
I know.
Like,
yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, there's 2 reasons behind it. Number 1 is cost. And number 2, the cost of maintenance and owning the operation. And number 2 is finding people to put in the seats.
Oh, yeah.
Because with a truck...
availability, mob.
Availability.
Yeah.
A truck package, you only need 2 skilled guys. You need an operator for the excavator, and you need an operator in the fill.
The problem with scrapers, it's a skilled position.
All the way around.
But no one skilled wants to do it.
Exactly.
And so you get all the amateurs into scrapers, but it's not an amateur. To do it right, you need to know what the hell you're doing. And to watch a scraper operator that knows what the hell is going on, and a whole spread that knows what the hell is going on, it is a magical, magical sight.
Yes.
But that is far and few between. It's only California and Arizona.
Yeah.
Or Colorado.
Yeah.
Like you have to go out west to see scrapers that run properly. But out like east of the Mississippi, it's ugly.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
Yeah. There's some bad stuff. And it's not, I don't know, like to me, I picked it up really quick when I first got in one. And I didn't even I was running one of those Kteks the first time I ran one, so I wasn't even running a real scraper. It's not rocket mechanics. I mean, it's like, to me, it's like I don't know. It's so simple, but people struggle with it so bad. I think it's because they can't see the whole machine or something. I don't know what it is about it, but it's not much of a science.
Yeah.
Move dirt. Don't spin the wheels. Go fast.
That's it. Just rip, baby.
Yeah. Follow the dozer if you have a dozer.
I am gonna have to go do mission. So I guess we can just wrap it. And if we want to come back, we can. But otherwise, I don't think. Do we need to come back?
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Is that good enough? All right, cool.
Yeah. How long was it?
Podcast, Dirt Talk. 55 minutes of Dirt Talk?
Yeah.
Check. All right,
cool.
Well, I'm going to go do our mission onboarding.
Okay. Oh, you got to do that.
Yeah.
10-4. Okay. Well, this has been fun.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah.
See you in the next one.
Waffle House, hit me up.